hang on, I've already done a video about this, and it was only just before Christmas as well. We did a Toolbox Tour 1, looked at this very toolbox, didn't it? The Stanley 48cm, and it's an excellent toolbox, and considering that was only just before Christmas I uploaded that video, and I was so pleased with the Stanley top edge, and it worked really well with my Fluke diagnostic case and my Stanley roller box that contains the power tools. What's changed today to make me upgrade from this Stanley product? What could possibly be better than a Stanley top edge 48cm box? Well, in answer to that, I'm going to tilt my camera down and we can see it is the Stanley 61cm box, the bigger brother of this fella, and in very clean condition at the moment because it hasn't been used anywhere. Okay, so it's a bigger box and it's got all the same stuff in it, but why? Why would I invest in a bigger box? Well, there's one important addition to this box which propels it to perhaps the ultimate jobbing electrician's toolbox. It contains everything I need with one extra ingredient that the last one lacked. If I pop the top and take it off, we can see that nestling inside here amongst all the tools is also my TIS MFT Pro. So for this extra little bit of space, I've managed to accommodate a multifunction tester in here. Obviously, I've still got my my metal that I can take to site in my Fluke box. That still remains as a diagnostic tool case in its own right, which can come off the van for an RCD trip without necessarily the need to drag all these tools out. But if I'm out and about and I need to get some quick test results, rather than having to fish the Fluke box off the van, I've now got everything I need in this case. The TIS fits in there fairly well. All its leads, clips and probes are at the bottom there. And obviously the TIS, when I first looked at it, I decided that I couldn't use on site because of its low resistance scale deflection. But now that it's had its firmware upgrade, as I looked at in a couple of videos ago, it is actually a jolly capable bit of test kit. That so there we go. It's got its own little home there, and we can take it out to site, and it should all work rather well. So the rest of this video, I am going to have a little poke around through this box. It contains all the same stuff as before, but if you've seen Toolbox Tour 1, it's all the same stuff again, really. So you probably want to go and do something else with your afternoon. But for those who haven't seen Toolbox Tour 1 and want to know what's inside the new box, I shall have a quick rifle through now, and we'll see what makes this the dog's knob, so to speak. You know, this box is so big I can't even fit the whole bally thing into the shots with my crappy camera setup here and my knackered tripod. I really must invest in a new one. But look how clean it looks. Look how clean it looks. The old one is it's almost opaque. The plastic's so dusty and scratched. And I do feel a bit guilty changing toolboxes because the old one, apart from its size, it's a perfectly fine box, and I do feel like I'm I'm cheating on it a bit by changing it out for this new one. But it's always good to have a little bit more space, and the size of it is such that it's still fairly manageable. I can still lug it around, hopefully without doing my back in, but well, time will tell, I suppose. Like I said, we'll have a rifle through. It's all stuff we've seen before in Toolbox Tour 1. There's nothing else new here particularly, maybe one or two items. But let's have a flick through now and see what we can see. We've still got the Klein clamp meter, which again, there's another video all about that if you want to know more about that. A perfectly fine meter that is too. Disc capacitance, which my other meters don't. Other than that, it does everything I need it to. And also in here, in these very dust-free compartments, it won't be like that in 24 hours time after we've gone and knocked a few holes in some walls, but at the moment it's all completely dust-free. We've got the solder sucker, a lighter, the gas soldering iron, and also hiding in here is my telephone line polarity checker. So that's that compartment arranged. If I can fit that back in there. In this compartment I've got my pens, drill bits, scissors, nice little hook end for my super rods there, meter seals, that sort of thing. There's also in here some batteries. I used to keep batteries, I keep batteries on the van, but now I've got them actually in the box. Batteries and fuses, because you can never find batteries and fuses when you need them. My labels for labelling up boards and things. I've got some extra labels there, and also my security bit set, which seems to be losing its bits. I'm shedding bits somewhere. I don't know where they're going, but no doubt I'll find which ones are missing when I come to use it, and the bits missing. In this compartment here, things like pencil sharpeners, earbuds, the crocodile clips that go with my clamp meter, an eraser, magnifying glass, and the tips that go with my gas soldering iron. Not very exciting, but there you go, that's that compartment. Let's just scroll the camera over here like this, all very high tech. M3.5 screws for your accessories, and generic screws for sticking things to walls and ceilings. And in this compartment here, various types of fixings, red plug, dowels, plasterboards, etc. And while this one here contains things like CU blanks, Vargo connectors, terminal connectors, etc. Just that's a bit of a dumping ground, that one, for the odd bits that you kind of want to have around, but never have space for. What I didn't have on the old toolbox, and which I'm availing myself of the space now to accommodate it, is a calculator, because my mathematics is pretty dreadful. Being an 80s kid, I grew up with calculators. They were the in thing back in 1984 when I was at school. So I figured, well, why learn anything when I can just press buttons? And unfortunately, it means I can't do even simple sums in my head. So that's embarrassing, isn't it? We have in here a little torch, pipe cutter, adhesive, this total glue stuff. It's supposed to sort of set it with a this ultraviolet light that comes with it, but it seems to have glued itself completely closed. I can't get anything out of there. So that's always great, isn't it, when you have glue that manages to glue itself to its own hole and prevent you from dispensing it. There's various other bits in there which we looked at earlier. There's that Boddington's Allen key for doing up your Henley block terminals. We've got the reamer in there, the awl, forgot its name then, that sort of stuff. In this compartment, the safety goggles, the Nipex we looked at in lesser known tools, and another new addition. Someone said when I did Toolbox Tour 1, oh yeah, I've got a head torch. And I thought, no, you know, I have got a head torch. I never use it though, but I was in CEF and they were selling these for about £5. Little CK thing. It's fairly bright, fairly compact, and it's USB rechargeable. So, you know, you can't go wrong for £5, can you, or whatever it was. So that's a little interesting thing. I've used it a couple of times up in the attic, and yeah, it works quite well. So I am now armed with a head torch. We got some DeWalt bits there. Let me just move this camera, because that's not really looking where we want it to be, is it? We've got some DeWalt bits there, the knife, the laser measure, and a ratchet screwdriver set that will allow you to do up screws around corners, which is always useful. Various tapes, bits of earth sleeving, bits of blue and brown sleeving in there. This is a new compartment, an additional compartment to what I had before, and this is where I'm now storing my brass nuts, bolts, all the little terminal screws that I tend to keep a little pile of from various accessories, because if you lose a screw, it's always handy to have some hiding in there. And then we have here the TIS loop checker, the TIS 1005. Nice bit of kit that. And that basically covers the top. But I mentioned it looks really clean. I don't trust clean looking stuff. It needs to get dirtied up out on site, so enjoy it while it lasts, because next time you see this, it'll be covered in filth. Right, let's put that down and have a look inside the bottom here. The camera's not going to get this very well at all, is it? So all the same tools as we had last time are now segregated into this compartment here, and I've used this bit of plastic to, which I've sort of silicone sealed in, to hopefully try and keep all the sharp and dusty stuff away from the TIS. The TIS, of course, comes with its own perfectly capable hard case. There we go. Foam lined. Very nice, but you know what, the idea behind this is that I'm not lugging extra cases around. The idea is that this is going to come off the van on any given job, and hopefully will save me having to run up and downstairs to make trips to the van, because kind of everything I need is hopefully in here for the most part. So let's just have a look at that compartment that the TIS is nestling in. It doesn't quite sit flat. It's not far off though, is it? Actually, yeah. Oh, that is going in fairly flat. So, you know, it looks like it's actually kind of made for the job. Like I say, the leads and probes are all in the bottom there, along with a notebook for scribbling down my numbers on. Although, of course, the TIS does save your results. But I'm not so technically advanced as to be able to use that function yet. And then over in this side, like I say, we'll have a quick rifle through these. This is all the same stuff we saw in Toolbox Tour 1. We've got the various VDE screwdrivers. I've got my Barco set that I've had since the beginning, with the odd replacement, such as this Boddington's, which replaced the Barco screwdriver that I dropped down it was a hole in someone's attic that went all the way to the ground floor, and it was some kind of duct or something. It was just irretrievable, so that was a bit gutting. My fucking useful wire, which is a little bit shorter than it was in a lesser known tools video from before Christmas, because I split it recently and I haven't got around to replacing it. It's still it's just a bit shorter. Still getting me out of all sorts of trouble on site, that is. Got some side cutters, the very good Nipex cutter plier combo thing, my CK Combi Cutter 3 with its bolt cutters and its strippers and its cutting action. One of those things, I couldn't remember what it's called in Toolbox Tour 1, still can't remember what it's called now. A bush wrench for tightening up SWA nuts and that sort of stuff. File, crone tool for punching down comms connections, a good level, a ruler. I've got the Bosch, what is it, the PSR Select, which has its quick change bit thing, which works rather well, and just been charged as well. Normally I keep forgetting to charge that thing. Another new addition that I didn't have before that I'm keeping in there now is a USB charger, just because it's handy to have. So that's now found its way into there. Solder, a range of CK stubbers. I wrote a review on these for Electrical Times magazine a while ago. Always handy when you need a VDE stubby. When you need one, you need one. This is another new addition actually, and this is quite an interesting item. This is a security screwdriver. I don't suppose the camera's going to have any hope of picking that up. It's basically a Torx driver, but it's got a hole in the end. This is because I've been volunteering at my local repair cafe recently. We go there first Saturday of every month and just try and fix stuff that people bring in. And the last two repair cafes I've been scuppered because people have brought in items. A food blender was one of them, I can't remember what the other thing was. And the manufacturers, buggers that they are, have deliberately fitted security screws so that you cannot get the thing open. So this particular blender, it had 3 normal Phillips head screws, and then the last one was this Torx bit. And it's not just a normal Torx bit because it's got a pin in it. And they also recess it too far for most screwdrivers. So I actually had a Wearer screwdriver that had this security end on it, but the shaft wasn't long enough for me to get it in to the appliance to be able to open it. Really annoying. Apparently Dyson do that as well, and this was actually sold by a manufacturer, a vacuum cleaner repair firm, specifically for working on Dysons, but that's going to come in jolly handy, I think, and it's just going to allow me to crack open bits of kit that perhaps I wouldn't ordinarily be able to crack open in order to attempt repair on them, because often when people bring things into the repair cafe, it's usually something really stupid that's gone. It's often just a broken connection inside, the core grip's been too tight and has crushed the cable, maybe there's an internal fuse that has blown, or maybe it just needs some TLC inside to bring it back into business, and we do have quite a lot of good results with that. So if you have broken items, look out for a repair cafe near you, or if you're fairly handy with the screwdrivers, perhaps volunteer yourself to go and take part in one. I don't think I showed these in the last Toolbox tour, but they were in the previous video, or they were in the previous toolbox. It's just a set of cheap small rods. Again, we've got the super rod sets on the van, but you know, if you just want to do a quick bit of rodding, it doesn't hurt to have some within your toolbox. That's the driver that goes with the security bit set. This also works with the those little rods we just had there. It's always handy to have a hook end. Another file, box file, the filling knife, the Boddington's strippers, an adjustable spanner, a whacking stick, and we're down to the sort of the basic screwdrivers and stuff there for the most part. We've got a 8-meter tape measure. Again, I tend to keep a 3-meter one on my person, in my tool belt. I find these Stanley ones are a bit heavy on the old trouser line, but it's always good to have a good quality measure in the box for when the 3-meter one just won't cut the mustard. My Boddington's cutters here with the rounded edges, which are excellent for working on tails. One scotch with a rather blunt end, the chisel with a rather blunt end. We've got various screwdrivers there and a couple of utility bars, sort of big one and middle one there for prying up your floors and that sort of thing. A smaller adjustable spanner, one of those, I forgot the name of this on the last one as well. It was a set square, something like that. Handy for marking your trunking and that sort of stuff. And a pair of VDE standard pliers. And that's kind of it, apart from the laser level, which I said in the last video wasn't working following it being dropped on site. Wasn't working properly, but it got dropped again and now it works. So there you go, that's all right, isn't it? It's amazing how things sort of even out. Oh, I'll say that, I can't turn it off now, there we go. So apart from the TIS, it's all the same stuff. I've done the same thing again that I did last time. You can notice the bolt going through the back there, and that's because I bolted my night searcher USB rechargeable work light to the rear of the case. So again, it just gives me that extra bit of usefulness out on site, because I'm not having to, like I say, rifle through different toolboxes or quick pop down to the van all the time. It's all kind of contained in here, and I'm hoping that this is going to work rather well. So there we go. That's all I've got to say about all that, really. It's all the same stuff again, but with the TIS now in place, it's going to make for an interesting time going forward. We'll see how well we get on out in the field with this arrangement, but I'm looking forward to it. So have a good day, and I shall catch you next time. That's 2 videos in one weekend. No wonder the wife's pissed off with me.